Hi there, folks. Today I just wanted to do something a little bit different. I didn't have anything else. There's no book reviews at the moment, no book list, couldn't find any literary anniversaries to do. So I thought I'd do a video on something that is very, very important to me, and something I've been thinking about doing a video on for a while now. And so this is it. And I just want to talk about why books, fiction books in particular, are important. Now, I have heard people say there's no point, they don't read fiction because it's all made up, and they don't really see the point of reading fiction. It always breaks my heart whenever I hear somebody say this, because people who say that are not quite getting the point. This is the way I see the difference between non-fiction books and fiction books. Non-fiction books, of which I have plenty, more downstairs in the garage, all over the place. Non-fiction is about facts, so whatever you're particularly interested in, facts about history, about science, about anything you can care to want to read about, absolutely brilliant. But fiction is about truth. What is the difference between fact and truth? The facts are just facts that we know. They have been proved. There is evidence for them. Historical facts have documents that prove that that thing happened. Scientists find evidence for the way the universe works. That is all well and good. But why fiction? Why do we read fiction when it's all made up? Well, the thing is, it's not all made up. There are two basic elements of fiction books, and that is A, the plot, and B, the theme, and various other elements as well. But those are the two main elements. The plot is the fiction. The plot has been made up, and the author has developed the plot to give you entertainment value while exploring the theme. And the themes, any good writer will have at least 1-2 important themes and several other themes running through their book. And it is the themes that are the truth in the book. And themes are about the human condition. Writers write about what they know, what it is to be human, and explore human emotions, such as being in love, being heartbroken, suffering bereavement and grief, jealousy, anger, courage. Every possible single human emotion you can ever think of has been written into a book. So first of all, we might find comfort in a work of fiction because if we have experienced some of the emotions that the main characters are going through, we know that the writer has also had experience of that too, in order to be able to write about it. And our reading of this is comforting because we can relate to the character and we can say, somebody else knows what it's like to feel this. There is nothing we as humans need more than to have our emotions validated and to find that other people share those emotions with us. It is a hugely comforting thing. Also, depending on our circumstances, or whatever, sometimes we have difficulty in expressing those emotions. And books, and in fact all art forms, and basically this is what any art form is about, they allow us to express those emotions through reading, through music, through drama. That Greek tragedy was basically there to allow the audience to be in touch with their feelings about grief and anger, revenge, whatever. We can get much of that. We can feel that release of emotion through reading about characters who have gone through similar situations that we have too. So books are good for our mental health in that way. But also, even more importantly perhaps, reading fiction expands our horizons and it gives us views of people that maybe are different to us and sees life from their angle, which allows us to be more open-minded, to be more compassionate, and to be more understanding about other people or other races who might have a different viewpoint to us. This is so important for humanity as a whole. And yes, we might know as we're reading that the story itself has been made up by the author, but generally speaking, with any good book, the author has thoroughly researched their subject so that we know that they can take us into that culture or that part of history or that place or that situation. So let's look at some examples. So in Kate Moss's The City of Tears, we can see what it was like to be a Huguenot at the time of the Huguenot massacres in France. Elizabeth Jane Howard, a great character-driven writer, wrote the Cazalet Quartet, starting with The Light Years, that showed us a family at the outbreak of World War II and throughout that war, and how that experience was. Memoirs of a Geisha gives us insight into a completely different culture to ours. In Nicholas Nickleby, Charles Dickens wrote so scathingly of the way some schools were run that there was a public outcry, and many of the worst offending schools in England were actually closed down. And many of Charles Dickens' books did actually change views in society towards, for example, the poor and orphans, etc. In Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, we get to actually pity the monster, and gives us a whole different viewpoint of what it is like to be outcast. In Birdsong, Sebastian Faulks gave us a very, very moving picture of the harsh realities of war. And in Hilary Mantel's Wolf Hall, we get to see Thomas Cromwell in a completely different way than the way we have generally seen him throughout history, by seeing the world through his eyes. And J.K. Rowling's Harry Potter got a whole generation of children reading books. Books change things. Reading fiction makes people more empathetic, compassionate, broad-minded, intelligent, and knowledgeable. There are no downsides to reading fiction. Even if you don't get all those things, you can just be entertained by a good story, and there's nothing wrong with that. I have no problem with reading a book for pure entertainment value. That is also good for us because it can give us if our lives are a little dreary or dull or difficult at times, then reading a good entertaining book is a marvellous way of just getting a little bit of respite from time to time. But when you're up to it, do from time to time pick up a really powerful book such as Birdsong or Wolf Hall and see how much it can change your perceptions of life, people, different places. I know I'm probably preaching to the converted here, but maybe if you agree with me, if you know of anybody who thinks reading fiction is a waste of time, then perhaps share this video with them. I would love to hear your own opinions about why you think reading fiction is important, and perhaps some ideas of what books have really changed the way you think about certain things, or have changed you in some profound way. I'd love to hear from you. Please do make your comments below. I'll try and reply to some of them, and I'll be back soon with some more book reviews and book lists. I think I've got a new book box to open soon, so that might be fun. Thanks for listening to me ramble on about something that is very, very dear to my heart, and you know, my own feelings about the importance of fiction and why it's just important in today's world, I do believe. Anyway, I'll see you soon. Bye for now.